If there is one aspect of Kimetsu no Yaiba that I absolutely adore, it's definitely the characters. And while our main cast is definitely strong, and the people who Tanjirou and Nezuko will meet along the way are definitely interesting, to say the least, I tend to enjoy meeting new demons more than anything else. And I think that's because with the introduction of a new demon, or demons, the chance of an interesting backstory always presents itself. The chances of two demons being the same are very unlikely, not only in terms of their overall ability, but also in terms of how they made it to this point in the first place. And the two chapters this episode covers, I believe, do a good job at showing us how different demons can be. The first half of this episode covers chapter 18, titled The Curse. Most of this chapter is just the conclusion of the fight that was started last episode, though some notable moments for me in terms of animation were Tanjirou having to constantly use breath of water techniques to soften his landing. I enjoy how they portrayed the consequences to these consecutive movements. It just further shows how demon slayers put their bodies on the line simply to be at the same level as demons, because using breath techniques is exhausting to the human body. I also enjoyed the endless kickball match between Nezuko and Susamaru. It was really fun and further established Nezuko as a badass bitch. However, it's definitely my least favorite half of the episode, and it's not necessarily because of anything this half did wrong, it's more so regarding what the next half did right. Chapter 19, titled Together Forever, is covered in this episode's second half, and the only reason I like it more is because I'm a huge softie. I'm a sucker for emotional moments that are executed well, and this half of the episode just happened to have all of them. The title Together Forever could be seen as a reference to the bond between Nezuko and Tanjirou, but it could also refer to this curse that affects every demon that MUZAN has given blood to. A curse that takes effect whenever a demon with MUZAN's blood utters his name, which, if we look back at episode 7, I do believe when Tanjirou is telling the swamp demon to tell him about MUZAN, it gives the swamp demon's answer of, "I can't tell you," some legitimacy. It could be that just simply speaking of MUZAN and his intentions will cause this curse to take effect. Though the main reason I do like this episode is for the question that is indirectly asked towards the end of it. Because Tamayo was correct in saying that Urokodaki put Nezuko under a spell which would have her treat all humans as they were a member of her family. But here, she saw two demons as a member of her family. So what makes a human a human? One of my favorite, I wouldn't call it a genre, but form of storytelling in anime is this one, where we have two species inhabiting the world, each not necessarily in support of each other. Actually, most of the time, one has to eat the other to survive, and then we have a character in the middle of it all. Take, for instance, my favorite series in all of manga and anime, the Tokyo Ghoul manga series, as an example. Parasite the Maxim is also a good example of this type of series. And while Kimetsu no Yaiba is definitely this type of series, in its case it manages to distinguish itself slightly with the fact that instead of the main character, in this case Tanjirou, having to deal with the trials and tribulations that come with once being a human and now being a part of this other species, it's his sister, Nezuko, that has to deal with them. I love these types of series because when done well, the moment where the author gets to the point where they discuss what necessarily makes a human and not a member of that other species really interests me. I enjoy when the line between what constitutes a human and what doesn't gets blurry, mainly because I enjoy seeing what the author believes makes a human. What trait do they hold in high regard? This is a discussion that is usually triggered with the arrival of a character that belongs to this other species but doesn't necessarily behave in the same manner as them. And we've had two present for the past couple of episodes in Tamayo and Yushiro. I can't really explain how I felt during the moment where Tamayo starts tearing up. If you're wondering, for these series discussions where I'm familiar with the source material, I don't reread the chapters I think an episode will cover beforehand. I only do that afterwards. So, while watching, some of the things that I may have forgotten about still surprise me and have an impact on me emotionally, cause again, I'm a soft little bitch. We have a good idea of how the blood of MUZAN, or even just becoming a demon, can overcome a person. I mean, a couple of episodes ago, this guy almost immediately killed his fiancée after turning into a demon. But of course, those actions aren't a representation of what a demon once was. The demon from the final selection back in episode 4 and 5 was a sweet younger brother who eventually ended up being, well, this. Even Susamaru, who was not only deadly, but had the likes of Tamayo and Yushiro believe she was a part of the 12 demon moons, at the end of it all showed this soft, childlike personality that was probably there before she turned into a demon. And it's not like that personality stopped existing once she turned into a demon. The use of the temaris, I believe, is evidence that this childish personality Tanjirou mentioned is still in there somewhere. We don't really know too much about the process of demonification? I mean, we do, but at the same time, who knows? Maybe if this guy knew MUZAN was going to try and turn him into a demon, he would have at least been able to put up a fight and not completely lose control. Though of course it takes more than just that to become a demon like Tamayo. The anime actually leaves out this little panel of a rabid Yushiro being contained in the same room Tamayo was treating him in. Bottom line, we want more demons like Tamayo, and you can hashtag that bitch. Tamayo was once probably a really kind and gentle human, and despite what she's gone through, continues to be kind, gentle, and continues to use her abilities for good. There's a reason as to why these two have to live on the run from MUZAN as well as other demons. It's because what they're doing, aka not eating humans and not causing more people to become evil demons, is a big no-no, as it doesn't help MUZAN in whatever he's pursuing. If you ask me, I don't think Tamayo necessarily needed to hear these words, but sometimes even just a couple of words can have a lasting impact on people. Demons are immortal as long as they're not cut with a Nichiren sword or hit by the sun, so who knows how long Tamayo has been a demon? Who knows how long she's been on the run? My guess is a substantial amount of time. And in that time, anybody would start questioning if what they've been doing is really the right thing. Did they choose the right path, and if not, is it too late to walk back? In which case, I'm sure it doesn't hurt being told that you continue being that kind and gentle human that you once were. So, what makes a human a human? I have absolutely no fucking idea, but as always, these are my thoughts and I'm curious to hear yours. If you're an anime only, let me know your thoughts on this episode and any predictions you may have. Tamayo mentioned how neither of these two demons were a part of the 12 demon moon, so how long do you think it'll be before we see Tanjirou and Nezuko run into one? And do you think we'll run into any more demons that are like Yushiro and Tamayo? And if you're a manga reader, let me know how you felt Ufotable adapted this episode and what parts do you think they could have done a better job with, if any. And feel free to discuss anything I forgot to mention in the comments below. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, it helps the channel out a lot. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, link in the description. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure to hit that bell. That way you make sure you don't miss a video and can continue watching Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and many other series with me. Now with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.